Yo, what's good, everybody? Austin here, or Luna. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day so far, wonderful night, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hopefully it's good. Today's story time, bro. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I know I say that every video. I really do. But this one really is an interesting one, man. This story time is about one of the chillest people on earth. I have met a lot of chill dudes, okay? And women. But this dude, he's the chillest. You find me someone chiller than this, please. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this story time. If you do, leave a like on the video. And yeah, dog, let's just get into it. Let's just jump into it. Today's story time all starts off back as a regular day in 2023. Yeah, dude. 2023, man. Most of my stories, I'm like, oh, 2016, 2017. Usually it's in the 2010s era because that's when I was, a teenager and, getting into trouble and stuff and getting myself into situations that were interesting to hear about. But this was 2023. This was only a few years ago. Pretty recent story time. So 2023, that year, I don't have much to say about it. It was cool. It was cool. Pretty chill year. Really not much happened that year. This is definitely one of top 3 most interesting things that happened that year. My day-to-day and stuff, my day-to-day routine was pretty much the same as it is now. I would just wake up. My sleep schedule was cooked. I usually wake up at 6 p.m. I'd work on a video for a couple of hours, post the video, and then I would either stream or I would just chill and kind of be a chud on Discord and play some video games. I wouldn't really do a whole lot. So I'm just doing what I normally do, right? I wake up one day, I work on a video for a couple hours, then I DoorDash some food. I'm eating my food, watching some YouTube a couple hours after I was done with my video, just hanging out, right? Just chilling. And I'm sitting there watching a video on YouTube, and all of a sudden, I get a Discord message. And I look over, and it's from my IRL friend, Kyle. Kyle had an Android. He didn't have an iPhone. So instead of texting me, he'd prefer to use Discord because the messaging just felt faster on there than using regular SMS text messaging. So that's what we do. We message on Discord. And I get a Discord message from Kyle. And I look over and he goes, yo. And I respond. And I was like, what's up, man? He goes, you want to kick it tonight? And I was like, yeah, what do you want to do? He goes, I don't know, man. All I want to do is just link up. I want to do something tonight. I'm bored. And I was like, all right, you got any ideas? Anything at all? He's like, not really, bro. Do you? I was hoping you had some. And I was like, not really. And he goes, all right, well, I can just pull up and we could play it by ear. I'm like, all right. He goes, when can I come through? I'm like, whenever you want, man. I'm done working on my video for the night. My whole night's free. He goes, bet. When did you wake up? I was like, I don't know, bro, 5:30, 6 p.m. He's like, dude, you're fucking crazy. And I was like, fuck you, bro. When did you wake up? He's like, 2. I was like, bro, you're no better than me. Your schedule's cooked too. He's like, not that cooked. And I was like, whatever. Anyway, he ends up pulling up to my house 30 minutes later. He lived 30 minutes away, so he pretty much left and drove over to my house immediately, right? So he pulls up, and he walks into my house, because I just let him walk in. I never told him, knock or anything. I was like, just walk in, bro. He comes in, comes upstairs to my room, sits down, daps me up. I'm like, what's up, man? He's like, not much. You come up with any ideas on, what you want to do? And I was like, bro, I was about to ask you the same thing. He's like, fuck, man. No, I don't know what to do. And we just can't think of shit. We were so bored, we decided to go for a walk. Literally, we sat in my room for 45 minutes after he got there, trying to think of something to do, trying to come up with ideas, and we just couldn't come up with anything at all. So we just decided, you know what? Let's just go for a fucking walk. The weather's nice. It's warm outside. Let's go for a walk and just see what happens. And little did we know, that choice that we made to go for a walk and see what happens was going to lead to something happening that none of us would expect. So that's what we did. We left my room. We left the house. We start going for a walk. And we're just aimlessly walking around the city we live in, right? And yeah, we're just walking up and down the streets, just bored, right? Walking around, looking at fucking storefronts and stuff that are closed and, closing because it's late. And we're just walking, right? We're just walking. Now, the city that I live in, and like most cities, there's homeless people, right? Every once in a while, you'll encounter a homeless person on the side of the road. Either just sitting down, chilling, sleeping, walking, whatever, right? Really nothing out of the ordinary for where I live, and I don't usually think much about it. Sometimes they'll ask me for change, and if I have it, I'll give it to them. If I don't, I'll say sorry, and I keep moving, right? It's really nothing that out of the ordinary where I live. So we start walking around the city, right? And we encounter a couple homeless people. The first couple were pretty normal, standard homeless person interactions. The first guy just said hello to us, Didn't ask for any change or anything. Second guy asked me for a quarter so he could take the bus, and he was not kidding. He was at a bus stop, and he only needed like 1/4 to have enough. I think the bus fares where I live are like $1. So I was like, yeah, man, I got you. After that, we keep walking, and we end up walking a lot. I think we walked like 5 miles, just like aimlessly around our city, just enjoying the nice warm like weather. And towards the end of our walk, literally when we were like 2 streets from my house, things got interesting. So we're walking down this street, right? Like I said, 2 streets from my house. And this street in specific, the one that we were on, it was not the best street, okay? There was a lot of shit that went down there. There was always cops over there. It just wasn't the safest neighborhood, right? And at the end of this street, there was a corner store. And outside of it, I could see it from a distance, there was a man outside of the corner store walking in circles, like pacing back and forth and walking in circles again, and then pacing back and forth. And he's just yelling at himself. He's not yelling at anybody in specific. He's just screaming at nobody. And my friend looks over at me, Kyle, and he's like, damn, I wonder what he's mad about. And I was like, I don't know, man. And we get a little bit closer because we have to walk by him to get to my street. And as we're getting closer, I can kind of hear what he's screaming about. He's like, you motherfuckers, you fucking pieces of shit. How fucking dare you disrespect me like that? I'm a fucking paying customer. And I realize he's screaming about the store. I think the store like kicked him out or something. And as we got even closer, an employee comes out and he's yelling at the guy. He's like, get the fuck off my storefront. Get the fuck out of here. Get moving. Don't try and scam us again. I'm like, oh, this guy must have like tried to run a scam or something. You know, maybe he tried to like steal from the store. Maybe he tried to like cash in a fake lottery ticket. I don't know, right? I have no idea what it was. And the store employee or owner, whoever it was, he ends up going back in the store after telling this guy to get off his property, closes the door on him. And this guy just keeps yelling at nothing outside, right? He's just yelling about it. And then right as we're crossing paths with him, he starts yelling about some completely unrelated shit. He was no longer yelling about the store kicking him out. He was yelling about someone that he knew, like a girl or something. It sounded like a girl's name. And then he started yelling just gibberish, like random, like made up words, stuff I've never heard before. And based on what I could see, this guy was most likely homeless. He had a bag of stuff with him. You know, his clothes looked like he'd been sleeping on the street. Definitely was probably homeless. And, you know, that was sad to see. It's never good to see that. You know, I don't like seeing that. It makes me sad. I feel bad for these people, right? No one should live like that. But what I don't like to see is what this guy did next. So we crossed paths with him, right? We walked by, and this dude winds his arm back. I could see him like wind his arm back. He like has something in his hand, and he throws a bottle on the ground and shatters it right at our feet. And glass goes like all over. And a piece of glass actually like went across my leg and cut me a little bit. And I turn around and I was like, yo, why the fuck would you do that, man? And he goes, I'm fucking furious. And I was like, I get it, man. I get it. But like, dude, why? You just hit me with glass. And he's like, I didn't fucking mean to. And I was like, all right, man, have a good night. And we start walking away. I wasn't like seriously injured or anything. It could have been worse, but I wasn't. And honestly, I didn't feel like standing there and ranting to this homeless guy about why that was a bad thing to do. You know, like I'm just not going to sit there and do that. So we walked away. And as we're walking away, once we get about 10 feet from him, he yells at us, yo, you better fucking leave. And I can't lie. There was a part of me that wanted to turn around and be like, dude, just shut the fuck up. You know, that's just rude. But I didn't say that because you know what? The guy was homeless. You know, his life was probably already bad enough. I'm not going to fucking turn around and talk to this guy and you know, stoke the flames and make this thing worse, right? So I just keep walking. But Kyle had a different idea. Kyle turns around and starts walking up to the homeless guy. And I stop Kyle. And I'm like, no, don't go up to him. He goes, dude, what do you think I'm going to do, man? I'm not going to like hurt the guy. I was like, no, I know you're not going to hurt the guy. You're going to do the opposite. You're going to try and like give him like positivity and be really, really nice to him. But I'm telling you, man, this guy doesn't give a fuck. He's just going to like keep freaking out on us and he might throw something else at you. And he goes, man, that is really inconsiderate of you to assume that about this guy. I was like, Kyle, I don't know if you remember what just happened about 5 seconds ago, but he just threw a glass bottle right at our feet and glass cut my leg, as you could see by the blood on my leg. So I don't think I'm that wrong for assuming that this guy might do something irrational. He's clearly upset about something. It's clearly not our business. It's between him and this store or whatever. Why are you trying to get involved? He's like, dude, just let me do my thing. I'm like, okay. And Kyle, the fucking peacemaker that he is, walks up to this guy and he's like, hey man, are you okay? And this guy's like, no. And Kyle goes, what's wrong, man? Let me talk to you. And the guy goes, I don't want to talk to you. And Kyle's like, why not, man? It might help. And this guy starts crashing out. He's like, I don't want to fucking talk to you. I told you, I don't want to fucking talk to you. Leave me the fuck alone. He's screaming at Kyle. And I grab Kyle by the shoulder. I'm like, bro, come on, man. And I turn him around. I'm like, come on, let's walk. Let's go. And Kyle's like, hold on, man. Just hold on, Austin. And Kyle turns back around and starts talking to this guy again. Kyle's like, listen, man, I don't know what you're going through, but I know it's probably a lot. I know you're probably really struggling. I just hope you know that people care about you. People love you. I care about you. You know, if you believe in God, God cares about you. Like, you're going to be okay, man. This will pass. You'll feel better. Soon you won't be so angry. And I shit you not, this homeless guy goes, I'll be a lot less fucking angry when you two get the fuck out of my face. And I was like, Kyle, please, let's go. And Kyle goes, all right, fine. And we go to turn around and we start walking. And I see Kyle turn around again. And I was like, oh my fuck. And Kyle turns around and goes, hey man, have a great night. And I shit you not, this homeless guy bends down, picks up another glass bottle off the street because there was glass bottles all over the street. There was just litter all over. Walks up to Kyle and I tap Kyle. I'm like, come on, let's go. Like kind of, get him to run because this guy's coming up with a bottle and I don't know what he's going to do with it. And once again, this homeless dude winds his arm back, this time not to throw the bottle, but smash it. Smashes the bottle over Kyle's fucking head into 100 little pieces, dude. Smashes a glass liquor bottle over Kyle's fucking skull, dude. And it just goes everywhere, all over Kyle's clothes, like the glass goes onto the street. And I thought it'd be like the movies and Kyle would just like pass out immediately and like fall to the ground. But Kyle just stood there. And the craziest part is he didn't put his arms up to like deflect it. He didn't try and stop the guy. He just took it. It was kind of scary, like how he just took a glass bottle to the head like that. And Kyle looks at this homeless guy, like while the homeless guy's standing there, like panting with rage. And Kyle goes, do you feel better now? And the guy goes, yeah, I kind of do. And Kyle goes, all right, man, have a great night. And he turns around and just starts walking down the street. And I just turn around and I start following him. And I run up behind Kyle and I was like, Kyle, are you okay? Like, are you good? He goes, yeah, I'm fine. I was like, dude, you just got a bottle cracked over your skull, dude. Like, are you bleeding? And I'm like looking around his hair, like parting his hair and stuff, trying to look. He goes, dude, I'm fine. He like slaps my hand away. I was like, dude, you'll slap my hand away, but you won't slap the guy's hand away when he's trying to fucking hit you with a bottle? You just let him? He goes, dude, I don't know. I didn't think he was going to do that. I didn't think he'd commit to it, but it's too late. And I was like, dude, are you sure you're not bleeding? He goes, dude, I'm fine. And he like feels around with his hand and he wasn't bleeding. And like he brushes some of the glass off like his shirt and stuff. And I was like, bro, are you sure you're good? He goes, yeah, I'm fine. Honestly, like my adrenaline's kicking. I don't feel anything. I was like, are you sure you don't maybe have a concussion or something? Like, sure you don't want to get like checked out at the doctor maybe, like an urgent care or a hospital? Like, bro, you just took a bottle to the head. He goes, dude, honestly, it didn't hurt that bad. I feel great. And I was like, okay. And we just kept walking. And he just didn't mention it the rest of the night. I brought it up a couple times, but he just did not care. That's how chill Kyle was. Now, the story time doesn't end there. So Kyle ends up falling asleep at my house, right? He fell asleep on the couch, just slept over. Next morning, I wake up. I go downstairs. I say what up to him. He wakes up, and he's like feeling at his head a little bit. He's like feeling where he got hit. I was like, you okay? He goes, yeah, I just got a bump. He turns around. He's got a pink bump on his head where he got hit. And I was like, see, I knew that shit had to hurt. He's like, dude, I really didn't feel anything that bad. Like, I didn't think it was like that bad, but yeah, I got a bump now. And I'm like, all right, man, well, if you feel any kind of like concussion symptoms, man, you should probably go get it checked out. Like you got hit pretty hard. And he ended up going to the doctor later that day because he did start kind of getting like some concussion symptoms. He was getting like sensitivity to light. He was getting nauseous. So he went to the urgent care and they diagnosed him with a concussion. They were like, yeah, you probably have a concussion. I'm like pretty certain you have one. You're having all the textbook symptoms. You got a bump on your head. And luckily, he was okay. He just took it easy for the next few weeks, didn't do anything crazy, stayed away from that area where that guy was because not trying to see him get hit in the head with any more bottles. And we just kind of went about our, lives. But he was completely fine. And I remember after like the urgent care, I asked him again. And I asked him as well when he got hit with the bottle. I was like, dude, do you want to like call the cops or something on that guy? Like that motherfucker hit you with a bottle, bro. He assaulted you. He's like, nah, man, that's just going to make his life worse. That's how chill this dude was, bro. Took a bottle to the head, didn't want to call the cops, went to an urgent care, got diagnosed with a concussion, still didn't want to call the cops, let the dude just chill. That's how chill Kyle was, man. And he's still like this to this day. I can't tell you how much like hardship this dude goes through all the time, and he just doesn't care. He's so chill. He'll just shrug his shoulders and be like, well, man, that's just life. That's just the plan. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. But there is a moral to this story, okay? Moral of the story is, if someone clearly doesn't want to talk to you and they're showing signs of aggression and they're just asking you to step away from them, it's probably a good idea to step away from them, This guy, this homeless dude, told me and Kyle multiple times that he didn't want to talk to us, pretty much. But Kyle didn't listen, and that ended up with a bottle hitting his head and shattering. Not saying that makes the homeless guy's actions okay. That is not okay in any circumstance to crack a bottle over someone's head, but it was obviously preventable, We could have just walked the other way, and this whole situation could have been prevented. And Kyle's intentions were pure, man. He wasn't trying to, be a dick or anything. He wasn't trying to, egg the guy on. Kyle truly was trying to just, be sweet to this guy and be nice to him. But sometimes people don't want that. Sometimes people just want to be left alone. So if someone's asking you to leave them alone, it's not a bad idea to listen to that request. Because you never know when someone might have a temper problem and pick up a glass bottle off the side of the street and swing it at you, like Kyle had happen to him. Yeah, just be careful. But yeah, guys, that's the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you later. Peace.